What up? What up? Welcome to the wonderful world of the Pitt boss. We on the late night, moving through the lanes. Thought I'd go live for a quick one before I go ahead and shut it down. I'm moving around, and it's kind of interesting. So, the calculated risk takers, welcome one, welcome all. We on a mission. I'm glad to report. I'm in the first city. We about to shut some shit down. Let me tell you. Yeah. What's up with y'all? Welcome to the show. It's kind of interesting what's going down. We keeping it on the low. They told me, look, Pitt, keep this mission covert. So we gonna do a couple of cities right quick. Getting it in, you know what I'm saying? How we need to get it in. Who's in the room, man? Y'all say what's up. Let's see who's chiming in. You feel me? Let me see y'all. Hey, we got Divine Love. What up, Divine? I got some info for you. Let me switch up the game a little bit. I got some features. I'm over here messing with features. Yeah, we get one. Let me get a good one. We'll do the Red Baron. Who is that? Let me see who that is. Felicia. What up, Felicia? Peace and love. Word up. We got to tell you what the CRT greeting is over here. Our greeting is peace relative. Keep it relative so you ain't got to live in obscurity. So it's good to be on with y'all. I haven't been really chiming in like that. Now how I get rid of this? There we go. I'm gonna keep the red fade going on. So if you're wondering, and yeah, I'm out of town. I might not. I'm gonna reveal some locations. We gonna keep it covert for a quick minute. But Divine Love, yeah. I got some good info for you. Either way it goes, Divine. We got a CRT plan formulating over here. So hopefully everything goes good with your flow. But if it don't, we got a backup plan for you. Don't sweat the technique. You know how we do it. And Felicia, I'm not really familiar with you, but welcome to the show. If you want to know how we get down, you might want to go back in the profiles and go check out a couple of videos in the catalog. That, you know what I'm saying, and just to get a feel of what we mean. What we mean by the CRTs is calculated risk. You know, thinking about your moves and then making your moves accordingly to your thoughts and being precise about that. And then from there, you know what I'm saying, you should have better results as you start making better decisions about everything that you're doing. So all year, just to give a quick rundown, because you know, it might be one or two of y'all just tuning in, trying to figure out what it do. Okay. So if this is your first time, I'm not sure what your various interests are on YouTube. You know, the different kind of channels that you might be checking out. Are you on here looking for just interesting conversation? Are you looking for information for building prosperity? Are you looking to learn some history? You know, what kind of channels do you usually become drawn to? Because see, we kind of are a makeup. Our reality is a reflection of the information that we receive every day. So if we receiving a bunch of nonsense all day, it kind of throw us off. We may not ourselves be on that bull-ish, but because we not focused on what we need to be focused on, we can fall for some nonsense. And then you just find that, you know, 6 months down the road, damn, shit ain't really changed the way you want it. Well, I came in the door in January talking about investments, economic building. My definition of black power, since we got a lot of people who call themselves conscious and they like to scream black power, but we never really truly get an understanding. Well, what do you actually mean? You know, you yelling black power as a salute, but I'm kind of scratching my head about exactly what do you mean by that. So I did a video where I broke it down. It's a little short video too, and basically, true black power for me is when you really have economic control of your environment to the utmost. Whatever possible to obtain, that you obtain it. Sometimes certain power is just gonna be out your reach. Now, we got a little special squad that we recognize each other as a calculated risk taker. As you see Divine Love in the room, there are others watching. Maybe they'll tune in for it get too late. And we primarily interact with each other offline. We actually calling each other, operating, sharing information. We also building credit, cleaning up our credit, building our credit, setting up companies, limited liability companies, and we're investing. So I dropped various things at the beginning of the year that if anybody would have followed my lead, let's say they would have dropped 10,000 on some of the stuff I was talking about. Well, I could report today that 10,000 wouldn't be no less than 50,000. Easy on the various things that I had suggested that people got into. Most of the CRTs slipped on it. I won't lie. They was believing me, but they, for some reason, they didn't let their money move, and so they kind of waited and slipped on it. Then I got into building websites and setting up product development. So I came out with an example product, and I brought out natural soap. Not that that's anything original. It's just that's one of the things that you can take back your environment. Like, why are you going to the supermarket to buy soap when the ingredients to make soap is in your cabinets already? You already really got, you might got one or two little ingredients that you would have to go get that wouldn't be complicated, but you pretty much can buy everything you need to make natural soap at Walmart for the low. So I shared, you know, the natural soap. I got several videos where I actually made it. I even offered a deal for them where they paid me $90 and they got 30 bars of soap, which equaled out to $3 a bar for like 6-ounce bars of soap, and they went to selling them. Now, some people just wanted to be lazy and they wanted Pitt boss to be up all goddamn night making soap for them. I was like, that ain't how the game go. I'm over here running the network. I'm over here building the paradigm that can strengthen your mind, and I need the support. So then after that, I came in the door and landed with Booker T. Washington, and I explained how Booker T. in 1881 took a bunch of degenerates who was being ostracized by society and said to build a civilization, since these folks don't want you in theirs, since they want to segregate you, and you have to have a fundamental learning tool, which is called the STEM. It stands for science, technology, engineering, mathematics. Well, today, the STEM sets out to be the #1 area of advancement for all societies. Silicon Valley is a STEM-based society, right? I also did a show where I talked about in Israel that they built a version of a Silicon Valley with the ideas that in the future they would become the #1 technological city in the world. Now, why would they want to do that? Well, if you look at what NASA is planning, they trying to take moon trips, Mars trips, outer space trips, set up various substations in outer space. And if you ask yourself, well, what kind of technology gonna take us there? Well, science, technology, engineering, mathematics. So then they came out with a movie called Hidden Figures. And I got my whole channel knocked for playing Hidden Figures on my YouTube channel live while that shit was still in the movie theater. They knocked me for a whole 3 months. I took it like a man and kept it pushing. And then I put a couple people in the game. I created people that I met off YouTube, gave them some direction, and started building websites. I changed the conscious community's narrative of wanting to speak about religion and history at unprecedented levels. I identified the entire conscious community as falling a bunch of white Satanists from the early 20th century, starting with Aleister Crowley, going to Ayn Rand, talking about Madame Blavatsky. Then I took it to Alice Bailey and her 10-point plan, which Obama instituted the last of her 10-point plan by making homosexuality legal. Now we got a serious issue in the community with people who choose to live that lifestyle feeling like they could just flaunt that wide open, like this, like there ain't no crime of humanity going on. Like it's just cool to do. So now you see the rap game propagating the gay agenda at an all-time high. This is the type of shit I was kicking on my channel. But because I was against the grain, I was going against the Sarnetta network. I was obfuscated. I was coagulated in the corner. Then I had to demonstrate what the higher power looked like. So I took off on the conscious community, something vicious. Start dropping the Sarnetta effect, a 5-hour-long video where I give the conscious community an exorcism for 5 hours. Every day, going live 2-3 times, 4 at the earliest part of the year. The very first day, January 1st, I did no less than 8-9 shows in one day. All the shows no less than an hour long. And I went live from 7 in the morning till damn near midnight. Then I proceeded to do 2 or 3 shows every day for at least the next 5 months. And then, God damn it, haywire went down. All kinds of suckers came out the woodwork, thought they could debacle my program. But I knew that satire cannot compete with authentic and true history that builds communities. So the main reason why I decided to get on YouTube was to empower people with truth. Where when I looked at the conscious community, everybody that was supposed to be a hot star, which at that time would have been Sarah Sutasetti, Polite, the Sarnetta Network, Young Pharaoh, Shaka Utmost, and various people who was kind of really putting out videos and getting a lot of publicity, was primarily running what we call the Hotep Hustle or Hotep Ultra, where they took a need for black people to want to feel good and started telling them their gods that, the black woman is God, and just anything to get them to come up out their pocket with that loot. And so Polite was able to just generate this untold amount of money correcting people's status. Where are these people? Where are these corrected status people? Then Umar comes in the game and he collect $1 million, talking about he gonna open up a school for black people, and he ain't even mentioned Booker T. He want to mention Dr. Ben and Garvey and not the man who actually has an institution still open to this day that he established in 1881, which was the original HBCU. The original one. The one that the Tuskegee Airmen come out of. The one that George Washington Carver transformed. He was the real Dr. Sebi. But you never heard Dr. Sebi mention George Washington Carver, and you can't compare the two of them. One is a child, and the other is a grown man. Even though we can have love for Dr. Sebi, you just got to give the credit where the credit is due. Without George Washington Carver, we could never develop farming on the level that white folks do. You wouldn't have the automobile plant. George Washington Carver is responsible for how automobiles are manufactured on an assembly line. That's why they call an automobile a plant, because he based it on the plants. And then they all got around Booker T. Washington, who doesn't get none of the credit. Booker T. Washington established 5,000 schools in the South to educate black people at a time when they had no schools and no program of education that was anywhere, credible. And so by me giving up all this information to get attacked for putting out real shit, let me know that this is a bunch of bullshit. And my religion tells me, don't waste your time with idiots. If you give them the information and they can't receive it, then keep it pushing. So I did just that. Now my birthday is September the 12th. I just set into motion. I have a 2-year plan. I started back in 2016 on September the 12th, 2016. I did a video called Crossing the Bridge. It's like 2 or 3 minutes long. You can find it. Digital Pit Boss, Crossing the Bridge. You can understand where the mindset was in September of 2016. So this September became the fulfillment of the first year. So I said, now I did all the teaching. I put 500 videos up. Now it's to take the teaching and implement the teaching and turn the teaching into an exemplary status. And so I said, now I'm going to hit the road with it. But I'm not out here talking about give me $20 to come speak to you. I'm out here. Currently, I'm in middle America. I'm from California. I live in Atlanta. I won't return to Atlanta for a minute now because it's time to execute the ideology. I'm done wasting hours upon hours trying to come up with all kinds of topics on YouTube just to get a fan. People hit me in my email talking about, I can learn from you. You can't learn from me sitting on YouTube. If you want to learn from me, you got to get at me. You can't learn just watching the YouTube videos. I'm leaving shit out on purpose so that I don't educate the wrong crew completely. But I did put it out there that everybody can, even the ones that hate me, are my students. Trust me, I could run the gambit on the amount of channels out there to this day that are mimicking what the hell I put in the game, came in the game on. Nobody was talking what I was talking when I dropped. I got a great debate that I did called Socialism, Marxism, or Understanding Pan-Africanism, Socialism, and Marxism. Because one of the things that you have to understand about the black community today is that no matter what they talking about, whatever they talking fits into one of these categories. You may not know you fit in that category. You may just be operating based on your natural instinct, but that natural instinct has been categorized. So you either have a nationalistic point of view and a point of reference to how you're trying to build, or you have an integrationist point of view. You might be coming from a socialist standpoint, You might be coming from a Marxist standpoint. You might be coming from a totalitarian point of view. And however you see it, you have to show us in your life, in in history, how your ideology benefits our community to prosper from where we are. Most of the I've been on the scene with the new Black Panther Party, with the conscious community, with the hood, with the gangs. I done been on the scene with all types of people all over the country for years. And as I examined every group, I realized that everybody is on that bullshit. The people who claim to be red, black, and green don't even love the Bible. And the red, black, and green was based on the Bible. That's just ridiculous in itself. That's like saying you like Farrakhan, but you don't like Elijah. That would be ridiculous. When all Farrakhan talk about is Elijah. All Marcus Garvey ever talked about was God and Booker T. Washington. So how can you love Garvey and hate his God? Now, you may not be a person to be all the way in agreement with the Bible. And that's cool. We can choose it how we want. But the question is, if you don't agree with the Bible, if that's your position, what do you agree with? And where is the history on how it raised up leaders that walked us through life? Because when I refer to my paradigm, I get to go get Harriet Tubman. She agreed with me. I get to go look at Ida B. Wells. She agreed with me. And we can walk through most Black people that made a statement and a name in our American history construct, and they agree with me. But they damn sure don't agree with what we call in consciousness. But why did the conscious community decide to take a new route? Well, I walked that paradigm down by showing you how their leaders, starting with Dr. Ben, moving on over to Dr. Clark, going into the next level with Dilbert Blair and Bobby Hemmett and all of these Black newcomers to the game, to which none of them has ever established an institution. None of them. They just got rhetoric and books on top of rhetoric, on top of books, which is a great accomplishment as an individual to write a book, give a good speech. But it's not a great accomplishment if you plan to lead Black folks into some arena where they can win. If you plan to do that, you got to really put it down with your paradigm. You got to actually create an institution. So when I brought up Booker T. Washington, I was able to show that Booker T. Washington inspired Dearborn, Michigan, Allenworth, California, near Barstow, California. These are Black men who founded cities based on the Booker T. paradigm. I couldn't find another man in history who inspired other people to go found Black cities. Best the conscious community could come up with was Crying Ass Reggie with a Black sovereignty program. I made Reggie as put Booker T in his program, and he don't even like me. But I got a video with me and brother Reggie going for 4 hours. I first recorded it on Israel Doctrines platform, and then I put it up on mine somewhere. I put in a gang of work doing videos to a bunch of people who didn't even want the information and just fought me. And so I said, now I'm just going to show it to them, because I've been living my life this way forever. So here I am. I done bought a plane ticket. I got a rental car. rooms, and I'm out here for several weeks. And they gonna have to figure out how in the shit is he doing that? AdSense make that much money? Did he get that many donations? Well, let's just say, while y'all was bullshitting, I was getting to the money. I was building businesses behind your back. For real, for real. Now we cashing in on what was built. And we putting it in action. So I'm going to be able to just stay out here. Because they claim I live in a garage and all kinds of weirdo shit. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, well, niggas, y'all don't own houses. That's why you don't have a garage. Because you niggas live in apartments and all kind of weirdo shit. And if you had a garage, nigga, it's full of junk. You can't even go out there in it. So, show it to them, because they the show and tell type of people. They not the type to get up and put in no work. They want you to show them a gold chain and some rims before they get sparked up to do something. They look at rappers for education. Now that's the most ridiculous shit in the world. The rapper looking at the audience as victims. He trying to figure out how much dumb shit can he say on one rap record that they will buy it. What up, GG? Welcome to the shizzo. You know. So I plan to go visit all the people who've been showing me love all week. I mean, like somebody like Gigi, right? She been consistently putting $5, $10, $20 in my chat room all damn year. So when I finally got an opportunity to speak to her, I was like, well, hold on. Are you rich? She's like, hell no, Pitt. I'm not rich. I just believe in what you're doing. And, you know, I said, well, cool. We're going to remake and remix your whole program. So I've been in conversation with her for all year. Same with Divine Love. Same with Repent Rise. Same with Asaga. Same with Big Shine. Same with a lot of them. I had some, I had to just shit on them because they showed their true colors. I put a lot of time in them as well. I don't want to mention their names. I want to let the past die and get removed from history by not speaking on it and not giving it any life. Now, if you think it's easy to grab this camera and be interesting for hours, some people said that the information I was saying was boring. And then I look closer at the person who's saying that to me, and I'm like, wait a minute, don't you got on a fake gold chain? And aren't you still rolling a car from the 70s? Huh? I mean, if that was your third car, I wouldn't be sweating it. That's your only car. So here we go. I got to deal with the low-level minded people. Then I rock their world with the Bible, and I hit them with the preterism. They never heard of preterism. They didn't know who a Pitt Boss and a William Bell was, but I walked them into the conscious community and shook their ass up. If you don't know what preterism is, welcome to the new discoveries. Preterism is about looking at the Bible and understanding the audience relevance of the book, meaning that when the book was put out, did it have any relevance to the people of that day? And if so, what part was relevant and what was not relevant? Well, preterism says that all of it was relevant to them at that time, and that it was all fulfilled in that time. And what was left from it, the highest level of consciousness. Since consciousness is about raising your vibration to where you have leveled up beyond all other levels of consciousness, then you have reached Christ consciousness. So now, when the Bible was put out in the first century, the gospel, white folks, they wasn't in the Bible. They was doing Roman mythology. They was into Greek mythology. They was really into Kemetic mysticism by another name. How did we know this? Because we had a black man come here by the name of George G.M. James and drop a book on us called The Stolen Legacy, where he describes in great detail on how the Greeks and the Romans stole their information from Kemet. Boom, that deal's done. Suitcase filled with clothes. Time to head out. That's over with. Ain't no way to come back. That's one of the best books that the Comedics got. And they stopped talking about it once I bust their ass up with that truth. They was pretty much shook. So the next level of the game was to formulate. I started a Facebook group. With the Facebook group, I put out tons of information faster than I could on the videos. It was more of a research, my history group, to find out who was really those history buffs. So I mimicked that on the videos. I would put some in the chat rooms, and then I would create the videos and do it on video. And that brought me to this point where my information drawed in what I call my kind. So the breakdown of my kind is this: that everybody who is your color is not your kind, and everybody that's your kind is not your color. So you have to be like-minded. The only way you can truly build with anybody is if you guys are somewhat like-minded, where you can agree on most things. It's good to have a little variance in order to test someone to go research, question things, question authority, question information, but not to be doing it to a degree that you can get nothing done. That every time someone speaks, you want to debate it. You want to put it down. You want to say it ain't possible. You want to call it a lie. If you do that, then you can't build nothing. So when you get around your kind understand you off the muscle. First time they meet you, they understand you. Soon as they meet you, they be like, you're my kind. And then y'all exchange numbers and you move out, building up a tribe. So I told them about one of the most successful events Black people have ever attempted, which was called the Underground Railroad. But a lot of people, when they think of the Underground Railroad, they only can think about Harriet Tubman, and they think she built that. But she didn't build that. The Underground Railroad was around decades before she showed up. And it was a multinational operation, meaning that white folks came to Black folks by the name of Quakers and said, well, look, we don't believe in slavery. And we believe that that's unjust and it's against our God. And they followed the Bible. And so they said, we want to help you get free. And so with the Quakers and the enslaved Blacks, they formulated the Underground Railroad. Now, what made the railroad successful is they kept it covert. So I said, I'm going to take from that. I'm going to make this calculated risk-taking covert. So now what you see me doing, if you're not in on the know, you won't actually know why I'm doing it, what I'm doing it for. You just won't know. You'll be trying to figure out, why is he sitting out there with the pool? Where is he at? And how long is he going to be there? And what actually are they doing? If you're asking yourself them kind of questions, you are not in the know. You may not even be my kind. You may be a great person, but not my kind. And therefore, since you wasn't my kind, that means you ain't going to reach out. Because if you're not my kind, you ain't going to reach out. You ain't going to really try to take the initiative. You definitely ain't going to drop no money to try to help build it up. Some people feel like, why would I just sit and give a YouTuber my money? It's not about that. It's about, have you met anybody that you believe in what they're doing? And if you believe in it, would you support it? If you can't support it, then why are you in a position that you can't support shit? What is it that your paradigm is lacking that makes it so that you can't support anything that you believe is something beneficial? If you can't support it, would you ever think about creating something that you would want other people to support? And if you would, why would you have the foolishness to do that? Being that you already have a paradigm that you would not support anything you felt was building people up. How would that make sense? So I had a few people who understood that, and they collaborated to build up my program. Everybody watched it go down last month in August. Ridiculous donations came in, but not to the level that I've seen others do. Mine was minuscule, but the effect that it had and the power that it created, I took my whole squad and gave them the jewels. And now you're about to see those jewels play out in the last element of this year, what we call the fourth quarter, and that's the economic execution of the game. We plan to execute this information we've been on all year. For y'all who just tuning in, you're not going to take the time to do the research and go watch all them damn videos. And I'm not going to repeat the information in any way thorough. I don't got time. That's what I took all year to do. But see, I was kind of faded out by the conscious community channels. They didn't want to bring me on. They just didn't want to let Pitt Boss get popular because the information was killing their shit. I got a video called Fake Black Power in the Conscious Community. Some of my videos I go goddamn crazy on them because I had to defend myself. Hey, there go another CRT. Repent and rise to the occasion. So Felicia, as you see them blue wrenches come in the room, even some that are not, like Gigi, she chooses not to have a wrench, but they've been rolling with me all year. It's kind of like we became a little YouTube family to a degree. And now I'm dedicated to giving them information that can benefit their life. It ain't one of them that ain't put hours on the phone with me and that can't tell you that this dude done kept it real. Since Felicia is new to the room, if any of the CRTs could just write her a sentence on what you really feel, on what it really meant to you this year alone. Has it been any change? Have you talked to me and got any benefit out of it? Just write anything, so they don't have to hear it from me, because when they hear it from me, it don't have the same impact. When you hear it from a collective, you start to think they can't all be goddamn crazy. Divine Love might be crazy, but they all can't be. Repent and Rise might be crazy, but they all can't be. You know how we do it. Then I created Black Ink. Well, I didn't create him. He created himself. I just gave him an opportunity to shine on what my little bit of light. Retransfigured. Now, Felicia, I'm on my phone, so I don't really have my abilities to just go run and scrutinize people chat, in my room. But I've been very on my P's and Q's when the new people come in, because I got so many haters who send in their drones that I'll go run through your YouTube channel and quickly find out if you got some real shit up there, if you ain't posting nothing at all. And if I feel like, it's a blank channel, I just fade out. I don't listen to you no more. I hate that I gotta be like that, but this conscious community will put fake death threats on you on a regular. Tell you about what they put pictures of your house on the internet. Throw your phone number on their videos. Just all kind of shit. Try to double cross you. Secretly tape you. Just a bunch of dumb shit. Well, see, Felicia, you just don't know. You're in the fourth quarter. This is the financial quarter, so you're at the right time, but you just don't understand. I got 500 videos on 2 channels in 1 year. And you got to know how much work had to get put in to put them down. Going against the grain on every one of them. Just to bring out what I felt could change people's lives for the better. So, by January 1st, as a collective, a small little conglomerate that we looking to get another, we haven't got another CRT to join us on some real shit in months. I think Divine Love was the last one to join with the true information and contact and really reach out and support and just do all the things. And in return, she got 10 people over here who got love for her, that'll look out for her right now. Just by joining what we're talking about. It ain't a lot of us, but the quality of us is worth 1,000 people. 1,000. But it's too many people that come online with some sort of silly mindset, and they didn't come on to benefit themselves. And so they bring their nonsense to your chat room, and then they go in and they really not here. They sometimes they pose as a friend and work as a spy. But see, I done laid out so many real books: Double Speak, 48 Laws of Power, the Black's Law Dictionary. I mean, I done put so many books out there that real shit that if you got my library, you're already empowered. And that's just the library I spoke on. And I tried to pick books that I didn't see nobody talking about, like the 4 Agreements. That will transform your life instantly in 1 hour. And if you already know about these books, then you kind of my kind, a little bit. But see, I get a lot of people that just watch. Stolen Legacy. If you have a comedic mind, and that's what you're here for, I'm a dog the comedic paradigm. Not because I don't like the comedics, because I know what it really is. So that's the thing about the newcomers. It's hard for them to understand why I'm so cold on certain things. If you don't love Alice Bailey, 10-point plan, then you can't love Kemet. You can't love one and hate the other when they the same damn thing at the same damn time, going all the way hot with the same damn lines. And most of the people who love that shit don't know shit. That's what I come to realize. Like, how can you not love Alice Bailey but love Dr. Ben? Even though I like the Stolen Legacy, but I like it because he tell the truth. But if I tell you that the Bible, that he was a Christian, and that he said that the Bible could not have been written by no white folks, that kills the conscious community paradigm right there. So how can you love that book but then promote lies? Not saying that you do that, but that's what the conscious community does. So I said, you know what? It really ain't important to me, really, at the end of the day. I don't give a shit if you think you're a Moor, a Hebrew, Israelite. It really don't matter to me. Only thing matters to me is, are you going to get up today and empower your economic environment? Or you just going to sit there and keep on playing games like you got a good job, knowing that that job going to be disaster as time goes on? But Pitt go too hard in the paint. I just go too hard in the paint. They don't want to hear this shit from me. So I said, I'm going to leave them alone. So Netta called me this morning. I didn't answer. I was getting on a goddamn plane. I wasn't about to waste my time talking to Netta. What? What can he do for me now? When I needed the Netta platform, he wouldn't fuck with it. So why fuck with it now? What I'm going to do with you now? I'm already on the go. I'm already floating through the cosmos, mixing up the game. I'm already sitting in the 12th houses. I'm rolling through the 12 houses. My chakras is already in line. I already got a crown sitting on my third eye, clearing up my throat chakra. About to get into my heart chakra. About to move all the way down to my solar plex, get all the way into my navel chakra, and bury my game in the root chakras. Yeah, I know all that shit. But what good is that shit? Who give a shit if your chakras is lined up and you're broke as shit and your credit is all twisted? How can you have your chakras lined up but your credit is garbage? Huh? How that work? Explain that to me. I'd rather have good credit and bad chakras than good chakras and bad credit. For real? But look, y'all, I can't stay on here all goddamn night. With you, you ain't donating. I ain't seen a goddamn Snapchat, nothing. Nah, you ain't got to give me no money. I'm already in the game. You know, if you're going to drop it now, it better be 500 or better. I can't afford this shit. I'm on the road with it. I'm on the road. I'm gonna go live from the road. If y'all got love for that, then nigga drop me something. I can put some gas in the car, get another room for the night. Maybe go buy this goddamn camera that I don't want to talk about because they'll try to go get it before me. Because some of them demons out there got a gang of demon followers who support their channels. But for me, it's not much for the righteous. So be good to yourselves if you can't be good to nobody else. Love one and love all. Go find your kind and stop just looking for your color, because everything your color just may not be your kind.